Welcome to Boxing Fans Talk TV. I'm your host, TDT. You can refer to me as Miss T. Y'all saw the thumbnail. Usyk will agree to fight Canelo. I wonder how they know all this. But, as usual, I'm just reporting the news. But you know what? We're going to, first we're going to turn to, then we're going to come back and get into it. Shall we? Not sure what's going on, but oh Lord. Ray News Salters is in the building. Can you hear me, King? I hear myself. I don't know why the music stopped. Anywho, let's rock out this Wednesday. What's up, y'all? It's Wednesday. It's fine Wednesday day. I hope y'all can hear the music. Let me know if y'all can hear this jam. That might be a StreamYard problem. I didn't stop my intro. It stopped itself. Work them cowbells. I'm over here cutting the jig. Y'all, welcome. Thank you, Ray New. Y'all know I come on Monday through Friday at 7:30 p.m. every day. Unless something happens. Every day. Make sure y'all hit that like, share, and subscribe button. If you hit the subscribe button already, you ain't got to redo it. Just make sure you hit that like button. Lean on that lazy when you come up in the heezy. Hit the like button when you step into my square circle. And if y'all watching me on the replay, yeah, make sure you leave a comment. Let a sister know how you feel. Giving some folks some time to get in. I might as well talk about my water thing. I'm up to 10 bottles today and I got back on track. Make sure y'all drink y'all water, please. If you don't drink it any other time during the day, hit it off twice. First thing in the morning and the second time at night. I really can't tell you what's going on with my StreamYard. I'm blaming StreamYard. The music back. Y'all know first thing in the morning, get you 8 ounces before you do anything. As soon as your feet hit the ground, you need to be chug-a-lugging some water. The water is the lube. Your body is the engine. Get it running. Get it revved up. Second time, drink 8 ounces at night before you go to sleep. There's a lot of work being done. You burn the most calories at night. A lot of reads going on. Rebooting, recharging, revamping the system, cleaning out the system. You need that water to move things around. Plus, it's going to help you on the back end first thing in the morning. Drink y'all water, y'all. Get up in here. I see you coming in. Hit that like button. Hey, when I get to DC, I got to find this band. They call Vibe. I'm telling you, I'll be jamming in this motherfucker. I'm over here working up a sweat, y'all. You can't do nothing but rock them hips. I could do this shit all night. Well, back in the day I could. I don't know. I ain't tested myself out lately. We talking all night, 3-4 hours in a row, non-stop dancing to this type of music. No wonder you be in shape when you're young. Because you be off in the club doing all kinds of physical activities. DC on go-go. That's why I love the East Coast. Remember, I don't own the rights to this music. This educational purposes. I might be introducing this stuff to somebody. I might even be introducing this to somebody. But I don't own the rights to that music. But I love it. I love it, love it, love it. But how y'all been? It's Wednesday. We got a couple of news that we could get through. You know, if I don't have anything that's that can be confirmed, like for sure, or it makes me pause and say, I don't know about it, I won't say nothing. But I see a lot of stuff on the news this week, but I just had that, I don't know about that. Ray No Salters is in the building. He said, my queen, Miss T, what up, though? What up, King? Salute. He also said, I can hear you and the Go-Go Queen real good. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You know, I was hoping to give people time to get in. I'm actually more so on time today. I didn't really do no CP time. As y'all know, I can get caught up in It's just, it's just in our nature. But y'all saw the thumbnail. Usyk will agree to fight Canelo. Pretty much. I found that interesting. I don't know about you guys. But before we get into that, let me rattle off the upcoming matches that we got coming. Let me get the phone lines up. I mean, even though I don't know why I never have this shit up before we start the show. I always think of it afterwards. Remember, y'all could call in anytime. I do not share your phone numbers or anything like that. You can call in if that makes you more comfortable. For those of you, shout outs to you guys who are watching me through social media. I think I only have you streaming simultaneously or broadcasting simultaneously through Facebook. I'll figure out how to do it the other ones, but I don't have a whole lot of social media. That's just not my generation. That's why. Nothing big, but just not really my generation. But you guys could call in. You can beam in. That's kind of like saying FaceTiming. You can use an avatar, show your real face, or you can get up in the chat. You know what I'm saying? So shout outs to all my Facebook watchers. Make sure y'all come into the YouTube and hit the like button. You can go back to watching it on Facebook. Hitting the like button in Facebook is not I prefer you. Let me just say, I prefer you to come do it in YouTube. So we're not really giving me credit through Facebook like I wanted to. You got to help me get my algorithms up. That's what we're trying to do. And I do want to put out, though, and I'll keep reminding folks, it's about that time I'm ready to get that TV away. Now, how am I going to say this? Okay. I try to give the same TV away during the Christmas holidays. I brought it brand new. I have not taken it out the box. It's a 55-inch color TV, HDMI. Top notch. It was top shelf. And for all the 48 states, you guys can participate. If you live in places like Alaska, Hawaii, or some of the U.S. territories, whether it be the Caribbean or places far out like Guam or Samoa, I'm not mailing no TV out there. You're crazy. But if you know somebody in the 48 that I can mail it to, you can participate. Now, first and foremost, you can't claim a prize if you ain't subscribed. Let me repeat that. You cannot claim a prize unless you subscribe. So whenever I go to picking the winner, or seeing, let me just say, seeing who won, the first thing I'm going to look to see if you subscribe. And I can see that on my end. You can't fake the funk or whatever. You can't say, oh, I was going to do it tomorrow. It's like if I go through my email and I say, oh, this person won. After noticing that, then I'm going to go to my list of subscribers. And if you ain't up on that list, you can't claim this prize. And that's at the moment that I say, oh, this person won. So I'm not doing no retro or no, I meant to subscribe. Wait a minute, Queen, let me go ahead and subscribe. I bought the TV for the holidays. Nobody won. I can't just give a TV away. Somebody got to win, right? So I said, you know what? I'm going to hold this raffle again. What can I hold it for? So what's going to happen is when I get to a certain number of subscribers, I'm going to ask 4 questions. And I mean, the moment I get to that number of subscribers, I'm going to ask these 4 questions. Now, and I'm writing this down as I speak. So I can say, this is the day that I said this. 4 questions will be asked. If you watch my show, you know the answer. If I ask y'all right now, how old am I? I could ask a question like that. If y'all watch my show, you know it. I could ask what branch of military I was in. If you watch my show, you will know it, right? I can't tell y'all I can't give you a heads up of what questions I'm going to ask. I'm just telling you I'm asking 4 questions. I just gave you 2 examples of questions I could ask, right? Now, If you're a person that can get me like 10 subscribers, you have to prove that. How do you prove it? You have to go to your email me the 10 people you recommended. That's how. And then I'm gonna write it down. I keep great notes. Can't be a history major if you don't got good notes. So if you get me 10 subscribers that came in on the strength of you, then let's say you answer all 4 questions and one of your questions is wrong. But because you got me those 10 subscribers, I'm gonna count your question you got wrong is right. Same thing if you get me 20. 2 of your questions gonna be right if they were wrong. If you got me 30, and so forth and so on to 40. You know what I'm saying? So every 10 subscribers get you a right answer, whether it's wrong or right. The first person that emailed me the 4 correct answers, I'm going to UPS you a brand new 55-inch color TV. Period. No questions asked. It ain't going to cost you a thing. It's in this box. It's wrapped up just like they sent it from the factory. Brand new. So y'all, hopefully you guys will get in on it. I'm just trying to get my subscribers up. I know a lot of people watch me, but hit the subscribe button, you guys. It's just my way of trying to get my subscribers up. I'm just holding that raffle. So once I get to 1,200 subscribers, we could be on live. And then I'm gonna be like, oh, let me ask these questions. I'm gonna write the questions down, and the first person that emailed me the right answers, if you live in the 48, like I said, Alaska and Hawaii is not part of the 48 for me. I'm going to mail you the TV. How I can right one of your wrongs, like, if one of your questions are wrong, how I, give you an exempt on that, you have to give me like 10 subscribers. Again, if you got 10 subscribers, email me, say, hey, I recommended these folks, because I see them when they come in. And I'm just going to give you the credit for it. That's your extra credit. So I'll be mentioning that often. But my magic number that I want to see is 1,200 subscribers. Again, you can't claim the prize if you don't subscribe. Taya's in the building. What's popping, King? He said, who's the best boxer in the world? Living? Whether they active or not, Tay? I'm going to go, if you're talking like that, whether they just living, whether they're active or not, I'm going to go with TBE. He said that can be a question, but that's subjective, or that's not really, that's opinionated. If you're going to ask questions, you got to be having fact base, you know what I'm saying? Because somebody could come in and say TBE, and everybody else can say something else, and they be like, how you get that wrong? How is that wrong? That's not a right or wrong answer. That's a good question. It's just not a right or wrong answer. The answer would be Terrence Bud Crawford. See, that's why I asked you whether it's living or whatever. But I get what you're saying. That would be Bud Crawford. I must agree. Active wise. But yeah, y'all take you over there in college. Give me some subscribers, player. Nah, it's a fact that Terrence the best in the world. He said, I'm joking now. I know you are, Tay. I know you are. But that's what I'm going to be doing. I wish I had a nice, pretty picture to put up for you guys. It's right downstairs, Y'all better get it for my daughter claim it. That's what I'm saying. So, Usyk is like, cool. I'll fight Canelo. I'll be your Huckleberry. You say it's over. Now it's not over. She thorough. She gonna have everything she need before she move out. And mama over here, I'm gonna rain down what she need over there. She probably gonna say, enough already. I'm buying pots, pans, dishes, living room set. Oh, I'm gonna make it rain over there. They're gonna be looking at me like, and then shit. And I think, and she can't even say I'm bad with that, because her fiance, mama, just is worse, and they got more money than me. They got more cheese. Oh, you say your college is over, but you be knowing, folks. You young, you be out and about. Just be like, yo, do me a favor. While they in line at the grocery store, bring up this, hit the subscribe button. The lady with the baby gonna be like, I don't even look at boxing. Then don't hit the notification bell. So I don't want them to unsubscribe. But y'all help me get my subscriber list up. A lot more people watch me than it shows, because I see it. I see it. Numbers don't lie. Usyk, like we talking about Usyk and Canelo possibly fighting. I know it's now revealed that they even offered Earl Spence a Canelo fight at one time, which he was willing to take, which E-Thriller, the Black Picasso, pointed out very well that, hey, is that another plan? Is that another plan? Because you have to call these folks on it. This is why I say you don't stand on no soapbox about certain, stuff and this, that, and the other, because, people gonna knock you off the soapbox. The plan was clean up your side of the street and then come right for Bud. Canelo don't factor in the plan. Hell, Ugas didn't factor in the plan. Mikey didn't factor in the plan. And Danny didn't factor in the plan. But you know how things go. He said Usyk will watch Canelo. I believe so too. I believe Usyk know he will. But before we get our panties in a bunch, Usyk is over there fighting for this country. Don't none of us know shit. I don't claim to know nothing. So I will advocate or put a caveat on this. Usyk is still in that war. He has not shown himself that he will leave that what he's doing there to come back to boxing. And I've shown you an article where the athletic something in his country was about to give them all permission, and one by one they said nope, nope, nope. They know that this moment in time for their country, what they do will define them and follow them for the rest of their life, and they want to carry out their life with honor and dignity. And you can't have that side step in your country, running off doing something that you want to do that has nothing to do with your country, while your country hanging a balance, especially if Russia is successful in their endeavors and they know that you didn't, give it your all, but you sit up there with the Ukraine flag draped around you at your different matches and just that and the other. It's just not a good look. It's not good for optics. And none of them, Usyk, Postal, even Loma, they're not going to do it. So don't take this news as somebody got an inside track that he's going to do something. Don't take it like that, because that has not happened. You will not hear that from me. You know what I'm saying? Something more credible has to come out, or we have to see it to believe it. That's how I'm going to look at it. But I think it's Uga's manager that's speaking on his behalf. And I think that they stay in contact with each other, so he can tell how he feels about it. Remember, there was an article out maybe over a month ago or some weeks ago where Miss Usyk, his wife, elaborated on what he was going through just by even having to come there, get involved, and this, that, and the other. And she was like, within the first fucking week, he lost like 20 plus pounds. He lost a lot of weight. The stress of it all. And stress will make you, drop some LBSs. But, people can talk a lot of shit and act like they bad, but ain't nothing worse than a bunch of bullets flying past you, and the way that shit reverberates in your body, and you're on that front line. You ain't gonna be so tough now. A lot of people think they tough, but they not. Put their ass on the front line. We'll see how tough you is. And so the stress of that can make anybody lose weight. You know, you ain't gonna be just no chunky butt on the front line of war. That shit don't happen like that. Tay says it's another plan. Yeah, they waiting Terrence Crawford out. I don't know what they doing. Now one could argue, and I think E Thriller pointed this out too, that hell, if you get an opportunity to fight the real big fish, which is Canelo, you would jump on it too. And you can't really fault nobody for taking the opportunity because opportunities are far and in between. Canelo is a cash cow. He gets paid whether he earns it or not. No, I would say they can claim what they can say about Canelo. Oh, he's a pay-per-view, star. You can kind of say that because he's made the list. He made the list when he fought Floyd, even though that was all, because of Floyd, but he fought Floyd. So together, but Floyd, did the heavy lifting in that one. I think the top 5 for 2021, Canelo was on the list somewhere up with $700,000. But Canelo signed with Eddie. So as long as his fights are in the United States, we might have a good number of, or a good roundabout number of how much viewerships or pay-per-views that he really did get, even though they still can lie. As Destiny Black always points out, they don't report numbers unless you're breaking records. That's what she says. But I know we have the Nielsen ratings and FCC guidelines and rules. You can't just boldface lie like you could if you was in England. Sorry, England or the UK. Sorry for saying it like that, but you guys can make up some fugazi ass numbers and nobody can check you on it. And don't think Eddie doesn't know that and don't take advantage of it. But Canelo let it be known that he wants it with Usyk. But he wants it at a weight class of 201. Well, they were saying it like in an article like it was a heavyweight thing. But I said 201, fuck no, that's not heavyweight. And they should never let him classify it as heavyweight. The reason being is because Canelo will never defend those belts against any heavyweight. We all know that, right? Right now, I know Errol Spence like to say strap season, but the only person that I see doing strap season is Canelo. And the fans are loving him for it. So when I told y'all yesterday that Bob said the casual fans don't give a fuck about Undisputed and all that, that's the fuck they do. This is why they like Canelo. The remedy or the strategy that you want to have as a boxer or a fighter, because you need a fan base. Fan base gonna bring the money in. That's how you're gonna earn your keep. You need casuals. They just as important as your novice fans, as your expert fans, or your hardcore fans. You need casuals. Without them, you can be mediocre or you can make mediocre money. Canelo understands that. He understands his brand. He understands the packaging that he comes in because he have complexion for the protection. He loves his people, but he understands that a lot of people look at him like he's one of theirs, like talking about white folks. They look at him, they like to claim him too. But he wants to fight Usyk. Now, Usyk is a complete fighter now. Canelo, I don't know what you're talking about now, but Usyk know how to move them legs, them feet, them hands. Usyk know how to box now, Canelo. And he's naturally bigger than you. I'm not mad at somebody for daring to dream. I don't like Canelo, as you guys know. I look at him as a cheat, but he is doing what I would like any boxer to do. Go after them belts, cement your legacy. Canelo definitely, I think B-Hop described him as a person like he doing it for the history. He is, you guys. 100 years from now, when all of us are gone, and they're going to, even him, they're going to look at his record. The picture that would be painted it won't be an accurate picture. They're gonna just look at the achievements and the accolades that he's gotten in his career, in his short career, and you know how he was able to be the first undisputed, 168. He gonna try to do it at 175. Then if he do it at cruiserweight, or they call it heavyweight, I mean, what the fuck y'all think they gonna write about this man? They're gonna be like Julio Cesar Chavez, who? That's how it's gonna be. So Canelo know what he doing. You don't hear TMT, Golden Boy, Bob Arum, Eddie Hearn, or whoever else, TGB, any of them. You don't hear any of them saying anything disparagingly to detour him away from going after what he is truly doing, which you might as well call him strap season, because he really is doing it. He not just trying to do it in one place. You know what I'm saying? He's spreading himself around. Because as I say, 100 years from now, when we all are gone, and he's not here, and all they can do is look up his clips, because from the waist up, dude is good. Of course, they're gonna show the favorable clips. They're gonna act like this motherfucker was the sucking coming. He might even wipe out Floyd's record. They're gonna act like he invented boxing. They're gonna make him the ambassador of boxing. He gonna surpass Muhammad Ali's reputation and honor and all that stuff. That's what Mexicans want. They want that to be the record, but it's not so. That's not a hit against you guys, Mexican fighters. That's not a hit against you. It don't mean you ain't a warrior, or you don't get it in and you be tearing shit up. It just, you can't make that claim to fame. We got a whole century we need to account for. Talking about the 20th century. We can't negate the 20th century because y'all feel like y'all look the best. Y'all are the best. Y'all the best men in the world. No, that's some ego, bravado shit if I ain't never seen it. But as I said yesterday, you can call Canelo what you want. You better put some spec on it and call him champ. So that's why I wasn't in agreement with advising Shakur Stevens. Don't nobody care about Undisputed. Then why the fuck they care about Undisputed for Canelo? Y'all gotta stop and ask yourself these questions. But Ugas, back to this thing, Ugas manager, Egis Klimas, is on board with it. So I imagine his fighter is on board. I don't know how they communicate, but even in war, they got email. So I'm sure he stays in constant contact with Usyk to know, or to be able to speak on his behalf and say, yeah, run us that. See, what happened was Hearn mentioned that fighting Usyk was on the bucket list, so to speak, of Canelo's, and it was Eddie and them who picked the 201-pound limit. Because, but keep in mind, Canelo is never going to defend his belts if he don't have to. So y'all got to think about that too. So even letting him go into the cruiserweight or the heavyweight, for what? Sometimes you got to say enough is enough. You don't want to put limits, but I mean, for what? It shouldn't be that easy. I'm going to just say that. I ain't saying make a law or make a rule that preclude him or discriminate, but it shouldn't be that fucking easy. I mean, the stars be lining up for him. And ain't nobody hating, but it is. It's either lining up for his shine or it's lining up for his demise. I don't know which one, because he going to catch the wrong one. But whether Canelo is serious or not, Usyk and his team called out their bluff. Yeah, we cool with it. Run that. We interested. Like I said, Canelo is more on the strap season to me than Errol Spence. I mean, Canelo gathering them straps like it ain't no joke. And I'm not saying Earl didn't go after his those 3 belts, but hell, you've been in the same division for a long time, 10 years or so later, you finally got 3 belts. I mean, move around. After you take care of business now, because now the whole world waiting on you and Crawford. But I mean, this is why we say we look at how people move. You can move strategically where it's advantageous to you, but not in a way that makes you look silly. Or you can don't care about it and look silly and just get what you get. Because again, like I said, in the end of the day, look at what happened the other day. Bo Mack was asked a question. He answered the question to the best of his knowledge. I didn't hear nothing in his answer that was derogatory towards Errol Spence. I didn't hear him, he just say he gonna be this motherfucking athlete. Not dudes talk. Fucking, I could say the same thing about Derrick James. They asked him a question. He did the same thing. And, pretty much with the same vigor. In my head, when I hear these trainers say what they say, you already know they're going to be favorable to their guy. But that's men talking shit. And men talking about possible people that they can face. I don't have a problem with that. I told y'all, like, when you're a person like Chris Colbert talking about Deontay Wilder, that's way out your lane. So you do, of course, look like a coon. But when you got Derrick James or Bo Mack talking about what's probably going to potentially happen when their two guys meet up, ain't nothing wrong with that to me, especially when you keep it kind of respectful. To say somebody gonna get that motherfucking ass that's not disrespectful. But Derrick James, he said what he had to say about Crawford. Crawford didn't feel the need to come back and post something negative or disparagingly about Derrick James. But that, whatever Bo Mack said, and again, I saw it, the little clip, it wasn't bad, but Errol Spence came back with the hee-hee-ha-has. That's why I be telling you guys, you guys listen to it, y'all think it's funny. But y'all do a lot of disparaging remarks. You call people out their names, and then you wonder why people feel the way they feel. I mean, attitude reflect leadership. That's the attitude of Spence camp. Then, of course, people going to run with that. If Spence shows something else, his fans will be a little bit more cordial. But, they could be whoever they want. Crawford fans have just gotten to a point where they just fed up and they're like, fuck this. So they're going to be boisterous just as much as Earl fans are. But the low-key condescending remarks, they be starting on Spence side. That's what I see. Because even in this situation, which I don't think Bo Mack was wrong to say what he said, you never heard me give Derrick James any shit for saying the shit that he said. Now, if I said he lied, he lied. If you say Crawford was in a place where the maximum capacity was 8,000 seats, and yet he sold out 8,000, when that is not the max, you can look that up. The max is more than that. And so therefore he sold out more than 8,000 seats. And you saying it like it's factual, actual, and doing some arithmetic. Well, of course your arithmetic gonna be wrong because you don't have the facts. But why would you do that when you know better? You didn't hear me come in here and drag his ass or anything, because I was like, well, there they go talking that bullshit. But hey, they can be potential clients of each other. So hey, that's part of the game. But Bo Mack said something no different than Derrick James, and Errol Spence goes right into disparaging remarks. But this show box rec. Well, he's not an active fighter. Which makes his fans go a little further. And they pull up the picture with him in front of McDonald's. Then they do a box rec with him eating. Talking about he's undefeated as far as eating, calling him fat ass, nasty, whatever. This is what I'm talking about. This is that shit. This is how it starts. You know, so I'm not terribly upset either way. But I just want to point that out on marking time. You guys on marking time. Because that's how it started off. Now, I just had to point that out. It's not the end of the world. They can go on and go back and forth. I don't have a big problem. I don't have nothing negative to say about either side. Just marking time. Just pointing that shit out. So while y'all be acting like y'all victims, talking about the Spence fans, no, you're not. You shit starters. You guys are shit starters. And so back to this Usyk, I can't reiterate enough or reemphasize enough. That man is still at war. Don't nobody know shit about when he's coming home and how he's gonna be, if he's injured, or we don't know shit. We all have to see it together and wait. But I will say his manager, Aegis Klimas, will probably have more of an inside contact with him than anybody. But he had enough, wherewithal to say, Usyk's like, bring it on, Canelo, shit. Y'all will get a big payday. Plus, Ugas will wax that ass. And in my opinion, I think Ugas will wax that ass. Because not only is he a great boxer, so is Canelo from the waist up. But Canelo from the waist down ain't shit. But Ugas is. And it go back to my same old saying. When you're more of a complete fighter, I don't give a care what the other person got. That complete fighter is their fight to lose. That's how I feel. So that might not be your night that night. You might got the bubble guts. You might be sick. You might be whatever. That particular night, talking about the complete fighter. And maybe you ain't pulled the win through, then the other guy was a better man that night. But if everything is where all the stars line up, you ain't got the bubble guts, you're feeling healthy, feeling good, and you're more of a complete fighter, you're going to win that fight. It will be yours to lose, kind of thing. I don't think people who are not complete fighters overall, got a lot of tools in the belt, can beat complete fighters. I just really believe that. I'm going to say my prototype from here on out for the rest of the year until Errol Spence and Crawford meet up is going to be that Valdez and Shakur Stevens. It says it all. It says it all because you can make some comparisons to Oscar Valdez and Errol Spence a little bit. You can. Although I would say Earl got a better jab, but you can make some comparisons there. They come forward fighters. They're aggressive as fuck. They got the will of the heart of a champion. They brutal as a bitch. They know they can hurt you. And they go for it. Sound like Earl, don't it? But here's Shakur. Barely even was on his toes. Treated that boy like he was 5 years old. Just outboxed him. See what standing in the correct position will do, or throwing the jab, because he threw a lot of jabs. He was in the pocket. Even when he backed up, he was hitting him with the check hoof. I mean, this is what being a complete boxer is. He barely had to break a sweat. And we know Oscar Valdez was dangerous. As I said, I love that man's voice. Oscar, if you quit boxing, I ain't gonna say do animation, but shit, do something with that voice. That's a gift from God. I really gotta say that. That motherfucker has a gift. And I hope that somebody would, who know him, listen to this and say, hey, this is what old girl is saying. I'm telling you, Oscar, you truly have a gift in your voice. Truly. It is, I don't know what you can do with it, but the sky's the limit. You might could run for Mexican president. I mean, you have a gift, a shown up gift. It's beautiful. You have a beautiful voice. I don't even know if you can sing, but you make me think that you can. But anywho, But as a boxer, you're a warrior. And as I said yesterday, he shouldn't hold his head down. But I keep getting off the Usyk and Canelo. So, like I said, if Canelo's serious, they want 201. They always want something to their advantage. I believe Canelo is more so on his trap season than most folks who say they are. Um, but this is why I say, look at what Canelo doing. The casuals like it. All his fan base love it. But when you come to black fighters, they try to persuade you that going for undisputed is not the business. But look at Canelo. They don't say it for him. Just looking at these guys proves a lot of points. Looking at that fight this past Saturday proves a lot of points. And like I said, Canelo, either he's a lucky guy, the stars are lining up for him to shine, or stars lining up right now for his demise. So we know we got Canelo and Bivol coming up this weekend. People like D-Hop chiming in on his fight that's coming up this weekend, talking about it's not so much a good matchup, even giving credit that he think Bivol can pull it out. He feel like it's a mugging in broad daylight. Why y'all think that is? I have to factor in the fact that Canelo ain't with Golden Boy, and that's probably why B-Hop is shitting on him now, because I never heard B-Hop fucking talk about Canelo disparagingly in any kind of way. But people, that shows their bias. You know what I'm saying? That's where I think it come from, because he got Bivol maybe pulling it out. I don't know how sincere his remarks are. That's what I'm trying to say. Or them talking about this Usyk and Canelo possibility of them matching up when we know Usyk is preoccupied with that war. All of this could be just Eddie Hearn trying to sell a fight. Don't y'all think? It could be just that, y'all. Nice try, Eddie, but we hip to that shit too. I still ain't buying it. Y'all gonna have to come in here and tell me, oh, I'm going out for highlights. Sir Antbo is in the building. He said, yep, it's Teddy, ready with the 1-2 checkup, Rex and effects. But I forgot that when you almost had me going back, Antbo. Rex and the I can't remember how it went. Ready with the 1-2 checkup. I like that. Yeah, I messed that up. I dropped the ball. Hey, I want to. Oh, Lord, I'm gonna tell you, whenever I got a chance to use a rap lyric in my everyday conversation, I'll be on it. Like I was talking to this guy one time, and he was like, "Don't be scared." I couldn't help myself. I broke out into I used to be scared, now I throw lips to the handle it like a real bitch. I couldn't resist. Whoop, 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 whoop. I could not resist. That's why I'm gonna be on my biggest shit. Like me and my homeboy, every time we get on the phone, he be like, "I want to." And I'll be like, "I like to introduce myself." Yeah, every time. Look at him. He said, "Classic, indeed, classic." I throw a rap lyric in some quick as shit. Or movie little phrases. Like when my mom like to get us with this one. Cause you know how your mom when you become grown, your mom be sending you still on errands like you a little kid. You want to look at them like, man, I ain't doing that shit no more. My mom could be like, hey, go to the store and get me whatever. And then you just looking at them like, and the money is, like, you gonna give me some money? And then sometimes, just to laugh it off, because it don't matter. If your mama send you to the store, she's spending your money or hers. You just got to go with the flow. So I'll be like, whoa, 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 whoa. This ain't enough. She'll look back at me. Make it enough. Y'all hear me do this movie phrase all the time, but I'm gonna try to remember. I'm gonna try to get the rap lyrics in. I used to do that all the time, but as you get older, your taste change, maybe in the sense that I still love rap music. I grew up on this shit. I was there when it was so called invented. But you get a little older, you want to hear all that boopity boop, you know. Unless it's like for me, I like the go-go shit, like what I was playing earlier in the beginning of the show. You know, I like, shit like that. You can do your grown woman dance and move side to side and you know. But that all that boom 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 boom, and then the lyrics matter. The lyrics matter. I don't want to hear all that every third word, bitch ass, kiss ass. You know, I don't want to hear all that. Say something relevant. Sir Ambo said that's my mom. I think it's all our moms, Sir Ambo. I think they all saw Friday. They be like, make it enough. They was doing that shit before Friday. That's why that shit was funny. Your mom will look at you in a minute. Yeah, go to the store and get this and that and the other. And you be like, where the money at? You better make it enough. You better make it enough. So that's funny. Thanks for taking me down memory lane, Sir Ambo. I like that. Ready with the 1-2 checkup. Oh Lord. One of my favorite collaborations was Self Destruction. I be doing the beat, man. Every time I hear that song. And then sometimes, it's weird because when you was young, you knew all those words. You still know them, but you only know them when you hear the song. That's it. So when the song come on, you be like word for word. But just on cue, if somebody say, sing Self Destruction and go. In my head, I could do it. I could do the whole thing. You know what I'm saying? But then I don't know because I might mess up a word. I know it. See, in my head, it start off like, today's topic, self-destruction. It really ain't the rap audience is bugging. It's one or two suckers, ignorant brothers. Well, see, I could be wrong. But see, that's in my head. I know that part. Or when MC Light came in. But shit, when that song came out, my boys was Chuck D and them motherfuckers at the rear. Public Enemy. I was like, yeah. And then Heavy D came in that bitch with the Heavy D, the overweight lovers in the house sample. Oh my God, that was my joint. Self-Destruction. And I like the West Coast one too. I just liked the East Coast one more because of how the beat was. You know what I'm saying? Self-Destruction, stop the violence movement. Yeah. Oh my God, man. I used to listen to all that shit like Sonic. MC Shan, remember them? Oh man, motherfucking MC Light when she was doing Light as a Rock. Oh, I crammed to understand you. Oh man, that's how far back I go. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I miss all that shit. Waterbed Hev, damn. And that's crazy because my first name started with a D. So when I was young, I used to be having my hands up, like saying Heavy D. I'm gonna tell you that part of Biggie's song when he said tattoos on. I used to swear up and down because it's the way I heard it. Now, in my defense, I don't have the greatest of ears, so I probably smell better or see better, but I've never had the greatest of ears. I have some defects that I was born with, but when he was like tattoo on titties, talking about titties, that's how he said. But they call me T, so I was like tattoo on titties saying BIG. I was throwing the hands up on that shit right there. Tattoo on TT saying BIG, nigga. Oh my God, man. Me and my bad hearing this shit. But hell, it worked for what it had to work for. Oh man, I was so into rap back then. Even as a teenager, y'all, I know this is a little story time. Even as a teenager, I really thought that I was gonna grow up to be a rapper. I'm telling you, the shit was kind of like invented when I was a kid. I remember going to elementary school. One of my first, I guess you can call it rap, was I think it was Curtis Blow. Don't touch that stereo. Don't touch that stereo. See, that's how far back I go. And I remember when These Are the Breaks came out, I was 79. And we was kids. But my aunts had that shit on the loop on the record player. So just to believe me, that's my generation of music. And then of course you got parents that listen to Motown and all the R&B and all that. So that's where I'm coming from with it. But I like all music, man. I just really like all music. Plus, I was there when the first video played on air, the music videos. That shit was invented in my time too. My generation is a lot of shit that was invented, which are precursors to what we got right now. But technology was a booming thing during my generation. Sir Ambo said Heavy D was my guy. MC Light is my childhood crush, no lie. Yo, my cuz Coolio is one of my mother's closest friends since the 70s. Coolio the rapper? Okay, he did his thing too. I remember when we crossed over to listening to West Coast, because I'm telling you, I'm all East Coast, y'all. Not in the beef. I get along with everybody, but I'm just all East Coast as far as flavor, fashion, design, whatever. And my flavor is East Coast. So I knew all that most of the East Coast shit. I remember when NWA came out, we was like, they say that on the record. Mm-hmm. And that's how we became fans. And I like all music. I even like some country music because that ain't nothing but an extension of R&B. I actually like classical music. Very refreshing. Very refreshing to sit down and listen to music where you can hear the actual instruments individually play out their parts. Very interesting. And a lot of you might think y'all don't like classical music, but you do. You do. Damn. I just got a text saying Rip Winona Judd. And I gotta ask, did she just die? That is so sad. I'm sending this person back a text. Damn. And she was one of my country music people I listened to. That's funny how I was just brought up country music and somebody just texted me and said, Rip to her. Oh, man. I don't know anything about it. Did that just happen? Okay. But anywho, so Usyk, let me get back to this boxing shit because I go on and on about rap in the early stage and hip hop and just music in general. This week, the mother. Shit. Damn. Well, shout outs to the Judds. And sending my prayers and condolences to the Judds family. Winona Judd died this week, I guess. I didn't know anything about it. But I'm sure that's a hard break right there. She was very talented country singer. Her sister was Ashley Judd, the actress. The mother and Winona sung together. They sounded great together. Shout outs to the Judds family, and prayers are with them. So, damn. But back to the boxing. In the end, I was saying I think it's a ploy by Eddie Hearn because I don't know. You guys help me out in the chat. Will this be the first pay-per-view fight that the Zone offers? Because I'm thinking it is. I ain't paying it. You know, I made a suggestion to the Zone that when y'all made y'all British invasion over here in the U.S., a lot of us did sign up for the Zone. You should give us a reprieve. But what the fuck they do? They gonna make us pay for fucking pay-per-view fight. I'm not paying for it. In fact, you hanging on by a string for me to even maintain a subscription. But I always tell y'all though, while you bullshitting, most times that I watch the Zone boxing, their undercard be better than their main event. I ain't gonna even lie. Always, I've never really been disappointed. Ever disappointed. So that's why I kept the Zone. Sir Ample said, Winona Judd isn't dead, ma'am. Then why this person sent me this text? If she's not, I apologize. Oh, she's saying the mother is dead. Is it the mother? See, now I got to look it up. Damn. Man, people in there fucking, I gotta look shit up before I just take somebody's word. Cause I just took, damn, the word. Hold on. I have to look it up because I am a fan of Winona Judd. I am. So I'm sincere when I'm saying what I'm saying. What was her mother name? Oh, her mother died. Oh, I liked her mother too. Her mother died. Rest in peace, ma'am. I apologize. I was straight wrong. I just read what somebody sent me because they said Rip Winona Judd. And so I was like, ooh, that's when I was bringing up country music. That's one of the people I'm a fan of. They had a song "Only Love." I used to sing the hell out that song. I love that song. The collaboration between her mom, Naomi, and her, it was awesome. They sounded so good together. But she died. The mother did. Rest in peace, ma'am. And I apologize to you guys for even mentioning that, Winona. I apologize. I should have looked it up first. But the mother passed away. She was 76 years old. She had a beautiful, deep voice when she sang. She was a character. So rest in peace, ma'am. Damn. Thanks for helping me out, Sir Ambo, because I'd have just kept on going. Whoever sent that text, y'all need to write y'all shit better. You know who you are. You sent the misleading text. But it's my fault. I should have looked it up first because I hadn't heard anything about that. As y'all saw, I was talking about country music and I just got caught off guard. But rest in peace, man. I am a fan of the Judds, to include Ashley as an actress. And her mother had a beautiful voice to me. Rest in peace, man. So, but back to the boxing. Like I said, I think Eddie Hearn is trying to sell Canelo's fight. That's why he bringing up. I mean, the motherfucker do the same thing every time. One of his big fights come on, he try to talk about other folks. He does it. You see him do it with Conor Ben. You see him do it with a whole lot of people. He wants people to buy this motherfucking fight on the Zone. That was in the agreement that y'all first started out with. This is something new that y'all getting into. Do anybody know that people are grandfathered in or not as far as having to purchase the pay-per-view? Because up until now, I didn't have to purchase no damn pay-per-view when you watching the DAZN fight. I've seen them all because I subscribed to them when they first got here in the States. Now, because they kind of went belly up in a sense, and they had to tuck tail and go back over to the UK because they wasn't having success with their app, I never unsubscribe. I still pay them. I mean, how many years it's been? 3-4 years? I still be paying them. So why now a person like me gotta pay for a fucking pay-per-view fight? Why y'all doing that to us? I wonder. But I will say this. You know what I'm gonna be looking for? I gotta look for it. This, in my opinion, might be one of the lowest pay-per-views that Canelo ever get. I see that. I see that in his future. Sir Ambo say, no grandfather then. Been a member since day one. Yeah, that's crazy, Sir Ambo. They should at least give us a solid, but I'm gonna be satisfied with just catching highlights because I'm not paying for that shit. Because I just don't see how you change up in midstream. What you offered is what I bought. And then you're changing the rules and then you expect me to go along with these changes? Nah, nigga. This is why you wasn't successful, Eddie Hearn, in the States, because we live on shit like this. We live on the grandfather clause. We live on the fact that if we agreed and we didn't break the agreement, you can't fucking break the agreement. And that's what you're doing in a sense. And this is going to be probably your lowest pay-per-view. Now, in England, they can fudge numbers. The fact that the app is through DAZN and all that shit can get fudged because they don't have the same FCC rules, Nielsen ratings, and stuff that we got. Now, can people fudge numbers? Any and everywhere. But I don't think you can just bold-face lie. You can't have like 50 people watching and come back and say we had 500,000. Can never do that. Maybe in England you could, but you can't do it here. As I say, Destiny Black, a guest to the show, she always say that they don't show the proper numbers, the actual numbers, unless they break records. Well, and if that's the case, then they can. That's why I said it can be some fudgery going on, because who gonna really tell us the truth? But I will say, whatever numbers that America gets, you could plus or minus some on either side. You know what I'm saying? And Canelo will be fighting Bivol in the T-Mobile Arena. You said, Ambo, I ain't good with all these emojis. He said, okay, Miss T, come clean. Weed or cigarettes? I hear you lighting up. I'm a good girl. What you talking about? I'm a good girl over here. What you talking about? You got some ears. Your ears deceiving you. I'm a good girl over here. That's funny, Sir Antbo. I'm on medicine right now. Y'all don't know it, but I told y'all this is my worst season. I'm actually over here looking like Martin look after Tommy Hearns put that stank on him. Not quite, but He said, I love your Renew said, I love your voice, so I listen. Laugh out loud. Oh, thank you, Renew. It's a little raspy this week. Just a little. I can hear it. But thank you. I want look. I can put my other voice on y'all now. It's turned into a whole other show. But yeah, so these numbers, because see, I like to always look. I don't like to say it. I like to show it. Y'all gonna say Miss T now. Stop the cap. See that? Now, I'm using this as an example. Keep y'all panties on. Spence Ugas 240,000 sold pay-per-view. That's a decline from what he normally do, but we don't know the exact number, you know. See, when I see this, I just take it at face value. I say, oh, it's 240 because I know I'm not going to get an accurate number. And I know it's going to be plus or minus either way. It's going to have a deviation formula attached to it. But from what I understand, and you don't see me putting the other things that I've saw, it was much lower than this. But I'll stay right here. Just like when they said this original number right here, that the first number that they came out with Terrence and Sean was 190. And then somebody must have saw different numbers like I'm seeing with Earl and Ugas fight. And they was like, they gonna take the lowest or the worst. You know what I'm saying? But that's what I mean. It can be plus or minus either way. Still, 240 does not equate to a pay-per-view star. And Canelo, I think the best numbers that he ever got was about 700,000. And that could have been fluff in that. It could have been actually 500,000. You know what I'm saying? It could have been that, because a lot of these promoters, especially people who got like MBF policies like Bob Aaron, they think black people don't spend. They think that. But shit, that'll be to their own apparel, because we spend our dollars. In fact, we're the biggest group of people in America that put our money back into the economy on a grand scale. Shit, if we stop spending, man, that shit sound like it's right here. If y'all, my mic must be good tonight. On a grand scale of things, black people spend more in the economy than any other group. Faithfully, you can set your watch to it. And if we didn't, this economy could go belly up so many times when we have these crises. Because even in the crisis mode, when we had the housing bubble, when we have whatever, stock market crashing and all this bullshit, black people consistently put their money back into the economy to balance shit out. So, we just gotta make them respect our dollars. That's it. We gotta make them respect our dollars by withholding our dollars. And the zone, you're gonna learn to respect our dollars because you came over here and a few of us took a chance on the Zone app when a lot of us didn't. And we've been faithful ever since. And what is our payback? You gonna motherfucking charge us, change the game up in midstream when we have never wavered on what was agreed upon first. I have a friend, he always said they broke the gentleman's agreement. He always say that. I'll be laughing. The gentleman's agreement. Okay, active activists. That's what they did. They pretty much broke the agreement that, they didn't understand the assignment. And so that's how I look at them today. And therefore, I will not be purchasing the Canelo fight. But I will read off for you guys what fights are coming up next. I don't know if they're exciting. I wish this motorcycle could get somewhere fast. Get down the street or some shit. Canelo versus Bivol will be on the Zone May 7th at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Everything I read is Eastern Standard Time. Gallon versus Terzievsky. I hope I pronounced that name right. May 11th. That's going to be on Fox at 8 p.m. Acosta versus Rivera. The Zone, May 12th at 9 p.m. Scardina versus the Carolis on the Zone, May 13 at 2 p.m. It seemed like, yeah, they trying to make some money. Then they going to peddle all these the Zone fights behind the Canelo fight. And we don't know none of these motherfuckers. Mayweather versus Moore on Fight TV. That's the only thing they're showing as far as where you can get that. That's gonna be May 14 at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Love you to death, Mayweather, but I will not be buying your fight either. I'm over it. Because I really believe you need to put a lot more time in. I ain't saying you got to be something different, but you're gonna have to learn a happy balance with your ego and bravado. That helped you and served this purpose well as a fighter. It is not the business outside the ring. So I think, just you want it to your second part of life. I like to think life comes in three phases, from birth to like 39, from like 40 to like maybe 65 or 70. Um, and then from 70 to you pass, you know, getting up there in age. Like Bob is in his third phase. Bob Arum is. So, when your second part of your life, your second phase, this is where you took all the lessons that you had from the first, and you revamp, you redo, you get a do-over, and because you know better and you're doing better. Okay. And Mayweather, I think he need to spend more time in that, you know, part of his life, than keep doing these exhibitions. I don't even know who this Moore character is. And it's in Dubai, I believe. And yeah, I'm not buying that shit. Kovalev, I'm not pressed for him, versus Pulev. That's on Fight TV on May 14th as well at 9 p.m. Jermell Charlo, now that's a barn burner. Look, I said it backwards, a barn burner. Jermell Charlo versus Castano 2. That's going to be on Showtime May 14th at 9 p.m. Now, for those of you with Showtime, that's a free fight. You definitely know I'm going to be watching it. But for the Charlos, I don't pay for shit for them. If it ain't free, I guess I'll miss it. Ramirez, now is this Zerto or some other Ramirez versus Basel on the Zone May 14th, 9 p.m. A lot of May 14th, 13th, and between May 7th through the 14th, there's a lot of fights going on the Zone. A whole lot. Le Haraga versus Metcalf. I don't know who these is. The Zone May 20th. Ming versus Pascal, Pro Box TV, May 20th, 9 p.m. Andre versus Parker has been postponed. That's what it says here on this list. It says it has been postponed. Buatsi versus Richards on the Zone, May 21st. I can't say this dude name. Alim Kanuli versus Dignam. That's on regular ESPN. I probably butchered the dude's name, but y'all probably know who I'm talking about. May 21st. Is that Janovic? I'm thinking him versus Dignam, ESPN. May 21st, 9 p.m. Benavidez versus Lemieux. I don't know if you guys care about that. May 21st, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's on Showtime. Another free fight. Hey, if it's free, I got you. Wallin versus Booker. That might be interesting. That's May 26th. It doesn't have a network, so I couldn't tell you where. Davis versus Romero. That's Showtime. May 28th. Now, it's not saying pay-per-view. So did something change? You guys, I have to look that up and get back with you. And that's May. A lot of the Zone fights. Andrade and Parker would have been a good one that I would say, yeah, we need to watch out for that one. That's been postponed. I think that's going to be his last fight with the Zone. Why it was postponed, I don't know. I'll have to look those things up, get back with you. But let me click this open to see what's going on with Romero and them Showtime and see if it's pay-per-view. It's going to be at the Barclays, I think. It's a PBC fight. Yeah, it's at Barclays. Show it say okay. May 28 headlining a Showtime pay-per-view in an event presented by PBC. So it is pay-per-view. They just have it on. They don't have it on the list as pay-per-view. They probably need to fix that because that was misleading. I felt like I had to go into it. Let me see why Andrade and Parker is postponed. Uh, Title between all that's doing is buying Canelo more time. And WBO middleweight champion Demetrius Andrade has been postponed due to a shoulder injury suffered in training by Andrade. So he has a shoulder injury. Um, and so that fight was postponed. That was going to be the title eliminator to get in line to fight Canelo, and that's how I'm going to classify it, in line, because Canelo seemed to never have to face people who's in line to fight him. He seemed to move how he want to move. Now, just like that. Ray News said Andre's hurt. Yeah, I just learned that just now. I didn't know that. But yeah, so he has a shoulder injury. But in the month of May, it looks like Jamel Charlo and Castano, Andre fight would have been cool, and Davis and Romero. Them the only cool fights. Everything else is boring. But I will tell you, if you're watching the zone, do watch the zone's undercards. They never fail you. They don't ever fail you. I'm telling you. I'm telling you, I don't know anybody who could say, that fucking undercard was bullshit. It was a front row seat to some bullshit. I never feel that way watching the zone undercards. Never. And I be waiting for the shoe to drop. Believe you me, I be like, it can't be this good. They always put on good undercards. And it could be people you never know. But it brings back that boxing feel, that feeling you have for boxing as the sport of choice for you. Like for me, I can't sit and watch football all day. I can't watch basketball. I like basketball. I probably would be a gooder look. Ghetto just came out of me. I probably would be a better spectator if I was at the event versus watching it. You know what I mean? Like I believe I could go to a baseball game and watch it. But the only reason I don't test that theory is because I swear to God, watching baseball is like watching paint dry for me. For me. And so I was like, I'd be damned if I put any coins to go to an event and I'm sitting there falling asleep, head nod, you know, almost about to break my neck because I can't keep my eyes open. I don't want to go through that, but I'm thinking though. I'm really thinking because I get more excited watching basketball games live, like in person, than I do watching it on TV. He said, I hate that the ranking system means nothing. What ranking system? Which one? On the different divisions? Um, I mean, I hope they don't mean nothing. The 135 division, y'all been fucking up for real. Y'all been fucking up. Because there's a whole slew of great talent. They not fighting each other. So they've been fucking up. You know what I'm saying? But you know, it's hard to rank people who ain't gonna mix it up with each other. Boxing, period. Yeah, because it's always gonna be it's very rare that it's gonna be really, really objective. And objective is in the eye of the beholder. I mean, I can't give Canelo that much credence, but some people can. But I will always be honest. The man can fight. The man did pick up some shit after fighting Mayweather, and it shows. It shows. It showed immediately. But the caking for him, Like even when they tried to give him extra in the Mayweather fight, Mayweather sunned his ass. I don't see it. Couldn't have been no majority decision, but that person, because they love Canelo so much, his complexion for the protection means so much to them. And, they more favorable to their kind of. I don't even know what judge did this. They had to lie on the scorecards, and that makes me sick to my stomach. And then the fighters don't even have the they got a lot of ego and bravado, but where's their integrity? Well, when somebody do them a solid like that they don't, you know, the best thing you can say, I guess what I'm saying is, if somebody gift you a fight, you know, maybe you can't, you don't want to, because in the long run it's going to do you a disservice. Even sometimes you can't all the way be honest, because it's going to go against the grain. If you live in an honest life and you're an honest broker, but you're honest all the time, it's going to backfire on you. That is the thing. That is a real thing. But so maybe the way to be a more honest broker is to say, you know what, shit, if y'all think he won, let's run it back. What's wrong with that? But you'll never hear Canelo say that. That's why I love Floyd so much. Y'all think Castillo won? Run it back. You think Maidana won? Run it back. You know what I'm saying? And so let's settle this once and for all. Let's run it back. But you don't hear fighters saying that. Some fighters say that. Y'all make sure y'all hit the like button. So let me move on. Usyk, if he wind up fighting Canelo, I think he'll wash his ass. I really do, because unlike Canelo, he has good foot movement and leg movements. He know how to place his feet well, and he know how to move well. He just, to me, a more complete fighter. And I'm sure he could take Canelo's punches, and maybe Canelo could take his, but who's the better boxer between the two? That would be Usyk. You know. But again, let's not get ahead of ourselves. He's over there. He's preoccupied. We don't know shit. Anybody tell you differently is lying. So, okay. It's being reported that Serrano versus Taylor had 1.5 million in viewership. Again, I like to throw the deviation formula in there, because a lot of times it's applicable. Plus or minus a half a mil, plus or minus 40,000. I don't know. It happened in the States, so I don't think that number is that far off. Even if you want to minus 500,000, let's still leave a mil. As far as January 1st, 2022 till now, look, that's probably one of the highest viewerships that we have had in boxing thus far, right? Not ever, but thus far this year. I think if they fight again, like I said before, I really think they should do it in New York. I think for women boxing, that is your mecca right now. There will be other places that will reveal itself as your mecca, but right now it's New York, because you have versatile people who don't get caught up in the minutia and can go ahead and just look at it like it's just a fight. You know what I'm saying? And those guys, those girls perform well. And I do think that collectively the ladies need to have a convention and talk about how they can improve the sport so that they can become money makers, so that they can spend the bulk of their time honing in their skills, and not having to hold down a 9 to 5 and box. That shit is too hard. You know what I'm saying? Unlike the men get to devote their whole time to their career. And I mean, when you can do that, you can become great. But shout outs to these ladies, they probably couldn't. Even their purses, they got guaranteed purse of 1 million apiece. Now one of them clearly should have got paid more than the other, but I ain't mad at that. Katie Taylor's net worth is about 1.6 million. Serrano's is about 5 million. Now, before Jake Paul put his hands in on it, Serrano was getting paid. I don't know if you guys knew it, approximately 1,500 to 4,000 a fight. This is a woman who sacrificed ultimately. This is why you gotta love the sport. You can get into it because you can relate. Who the fuck can do that shit? This woman don't smoke. She don't drink. She don't have no vices. She train. As a woman, people are always, the elephant in the room is going to be like, what about kids? I don't know if she wants kids or whatever, but technology being what it is, that's not a deal breaker because she can freeze her eggs and come activate them later or have a surrogate. People do it all the time. Your favorite girls do it all the time. Kim Kardashian. Sometimes it ain't just because of medical reason. It could be in vain. I don't want to mess up my body, don't you know? You know what I'm saying? So we can't get mad at any female athlete that be like, shit, I ain't trying to mess up my body. I mean, shit. Women like Kim Kardashian and whoever, and I don't want to belittle Kim. When she first came out, I used to be like, what is her talent? why are y'all falling over this talentless person? But Kim has grown on me. Out of all of them, the girl is very smart. I'm very proud that she's going for her law degree. I mean, she might doing it in a way that's, not traditional, but hey, she's going for it. I mean, you gotta put some spec on that girl hustle. So, but her last two kids were done by a surrogate. That's why I brought her up. So if we can understand Kim don't want to mess up her body, or maybe Kim did it because medically she just can't carry a kid. Some people can't. It has a lot to do with your environment, your medical makeup, whether you can or can't. Sometimes you just, how they say some women got baby making hips. We say that all the time. Like, girl, you got baby making hips. Or you got, baby carrying hips, or whatever the saying is. I had a friend that I could say that about, and I mean, she pops them out like, poop, poop. No problemo. Now me, it damn near gonna take an act of Congress for me to pop some shit out. I'm lucky with what I got. That's why I'm like Mama Grizzly over mine, boy. I'm telling you. I'm like, whoo, y'all don't know the half of it. But it's being reported that they had that 1.5 million viewership. That's a success, and definitely it's showing that they need to run that shit back and do pay-per-view. Because I keep thinking in my head, what if that shit was pay-per-view? Now they don't have to, this notion that everybody got to do $74, $80, or that's Floyd shit. That Floyd introduced that shit. What's for Floyd is for Floyd. Every pay-per-view fight don't need to cost that much, especially if you want it to be successful. And some, the ladies, they could be $50 fights. We can fuck out $50 in 2 hours. Easy. Hell, about as long as it take for me to walk from my room, my bedroom, to the front door, to the driveway, to my car, I could fuck off $50. Easy. Just get my fingers to do the walking on them devices. I say, why not? For the money, running back in New York. The only reason I say that because I think it's gonna be a hard sell to do it in Ireland. The Ireland people gonna come out, but the time zone of it all. They had 170 plus countries tuning into that fight, or people from 170 plus countries. So look at that. I'm just saying. Moving on. Now, excuse my youngin. She in there playing the games. Better BF versus Smith is on the horizon. They confirmed that for June 18th. And it's going to be for the WBC, IBF, and the WBO belts. So Canelo will have to face one of them because, his goal is to wipe through the light heavyweight division. So he's going to have to face one of them. In my opinion, it's going to be better BF I don't know if he beats him, but Canelo seems to think he can. He's daring to be great. That's one thing about Canelo. He's daring to be great. This is why I say the stars can line up for his ass or not. Because Bivol is just one notch off the belt. Once he take care of Bivol, if that's what happens, then he don't have to go to Joe Smith and then have to go to Better PF. He gonna have all that shit gonna be a one-stop shop. Boom. He gonna knock him off, and then if however long all of that takes, and let's say God willing, this skirmish that I ain't gonna say skirmish because that's kind of belittling it. This war that Ukraine and Russia is in seems to dissipate, cooler heads prevail, and those fighters come back unscathed. Then Usyk like shit. I'll be a huckleberry because AJ wanted he want the rematch, but then it's like there's a part of me that feel like AJ don't really want that rematch. I think AJ's sick of it all. But a couple of years ago, it might have been last year or the year before last, he signed that 10-year deal with Eddie Hearn, which I found confusing. Why 10 years? You couldn't break them shits up in 2 and 3s and 4s, you know what I'm saying? But he signed a 10-year deal with Eddie Hearn, so he on the hook, champion or not. And Eddie gonna pimp his ass. But either the stars are lining up for Canelo to shine or for his demise. We gonna see. Now, Stanionis, moving on. Stanionis want to face either Conor Benn or Errol Spence Jr. Well, they had to pay him the step aside money so that Errol Spence can get in there with Ugas. And Stanionis made easy work of Buetev. I don't know why he mentioned Conor Benn. You're not gonna really gain much from that. Conor Benn ain't mentioning him, but that would be a good match right there. And Stanionis was paid a grip to step aside, so I ain't don't cry for him, Argentina. You know what I'm saying? Spence and Ugas had their thing. Spence was victorious, but we don't. But Spence do any move. Remember that song? Nobody moves. Nobody gets burned. Spence, you fucking gonna get burned if you do anything other than face turns Crawford. And where the motherfucking contract at? I ain't gonna keep asking. Just say, look, we in May right now. May 15 get here. You was quick on the draw with Ugas. The fuck going on? You know what I'm saying? So I guess he feel like it's his turn standing on his due. I ain't mad at standing on his shit. You gonna pay me step aside to get out your way so y'all can do what y'all want to do. Cool. Then run it back to me. Do me a solid if I let y'all get it in, do me a solid. But standing on this, you better if you don't want the fans to turn on your ass, you better stay the fuck back. Let this Spencer Ugas thing work itself out. Speaking of which, I do want to say y'all go and sub up to Capsule Full G. Dude putting out some good information. I be looking too. I spend a lot of hours a day trying to do research. And this shit is hard. It's like they got that shit incognito. Now I'm gonna tell y'all some telltale signs. And y'all can feel how y'all want to feel about it. Okay, when you got official paperwork that you can get from an entity meaning VADA or whoever we could be talking about. And then you got just regular paperwork you can get from that entity, right? When you want it to be official, beyond reproach, not to be axed or rebutted or refuted, you put it on letterhead, okay? So in case some of y'all might not know, most of y'all, I'm going to assume, already know this. But never have I ever seen where the letterheads necessarily come out the legal office of that entity. Every entity has a legal office. Trust you, believe me. Trust you, believe me. They do. Even in the military, we do. But the letterheads are usually, they're guarded because they know once you put something on it, It's irrefutable. That's how it can be. So they're very much guarded. And the people who can, print out something, some verbiage on the letterhead paperwork is usually handled by the secretary, not your legal counsel. Now, if the legal counsel is doing legal work for the courts and they need some letterhead type shit, sure, maybe they have a couple of letterhead paperwork, or 9 times out of 10, how it's going to work, you're going to send your verbiage that you want on the paperwork to the administrator, which, i.e., secretary, that's probably working right outside the office of the president, CEO, whoever. And you're going to send your paperwork, your template, so to speak, to the administrator, and the administrator is going to print it out on letterhead. You have to do that. There has to be accountability. It's like if you're a notary, you're not going to keep your notary crap in your friend's desk. You understand? That shit is going to be heavily guarded. You can't just freelance and be free nilly-willy with a notary, stamp and all that shit. You can't. You can't say, hey, I'm going to keep this over your house. No, you have to guard that. It's not like Fort Knox, but you want to guard it, because if it ever comes out, let's say with a notary, that you've been like let's say me and my friend works at a bank, or we work somewhere. One of us is a notary, but let's say I'm not the notary, but my friend is, and I just go over there sometime when she ain't looking or she at work, and I get out her notary stamp and stamp shit and sign her name and shit. I'm going to jail, y'all. But not just me, she going to jail. Because she, in their mind, she let it happen. Because they explained her responsibilities. She should have understood the assignment. That's the same thing with letterhead. It's possible. Have I ever seen somebody go to jail for fact? No. But it's possible. Because you really you can go to jail with that's like falsifying documents and fraud. That's where all of that come from. So you can face some heavy consequences by not guarding or properly stowing your letterhead papers. You know what I'm saying? You can't have 2 and 3 people in the company have access to that. And that's why it's usually done on the administrative level. So with Captain Full G, I said all that to say. So when Captain Full G was talking about this guy named Ryan Connolly, who wrote this letter that he said Fanon and a couple of other people read off, and I saw this letter, but they had a lot of blackouts to it, which raised the eyebrow for me, saying that he's in the clean boxing program. What he's saying, you guys need to go listen to it, because it is relevant and it's an eye opener. Because basically what he's saying is, of course, Suleiman, we know he's a liar. He's going to paint the picture of this wonderful, grandiose thing, when really it's a front row seat to some bullshit. For real. Because, if you fucking with the WBC, then you fucking with the clean boxing program. Are they really? Because one, you don't want to pay for prior to the fight, the 8 weeks in training. Two, you got fighters being strategic, very strategic, like Canelo, who waits to the last minute to announce the fight. Because with the clean boxing program, once you announce the fight, that is when VADA is on your ass and they can test you. But y'all think about that next time somebody announce a fight and maybe less than a month or a couple of weeks later, the fight take place. You got to think about the intent behind doing something like that. Why wouldn't you take advantage of extra time to promote your fight, to get all eyes and ears on this fight so that it can do the most numbers? You got to think about that shit. That's what Captain Full G is saying. Plus, they don't really want to pay for that type shit. And then what's the dangers inherent with doing the test post-fight? Post-fight, you're not going to really get no answer. I mean, you got to be a dumb motherfucker to get caught post-fight. That's the message I'm getting. Because if you cycling and cycling and cycling off, by the time post fight get here, your numbers are relatively in the range in which the red flag is not raised. But the thing to do is, if they have 8-week camps, you need to you need to test all through them camps. Also, he's saying, if you look at Vada, see everything. I look at all his videos, right? So I'm just updating you guys with the relevance. So what he's saying is, the clean boxing program. If you think of Vada themselves, think of it like this. Say you're a phlebotomist, and that's for those who don't know what that is. It's a person who's able to draw blood and stuff from you. Say you're a phlebotomist. You open up your own company where you set up shop where you could go. You could be a traveling phlebotomist, so you can go to the nursing homes and get blood from older people or whatever the case. And somebody hires you to come out to their house to administer blood drawing or whatever. And because you're a phlebotomist, you know the laws and the rules and the regulation on how to properly do it. Who, how many witnesses you got to have, how to make sure it's clean and safe environment, this, that, and the other. If you think of VADA as that to the WBC, that's a better way probably to think of them. VADA on its own, if you get with them like outside of WBC, and you're just, you can walk off the street and just get with VADA. VADA will draw your stuff. They'll try to get your stuff somewhere in 36 hours, your bloods to their laboratories. But the laboratory they're going to use is WADA, which, you can almost like be self-assured that everything is on the up and up when they do it that way. But through the clean boxing program, every state has an athletic commission, and every state has their different rules, which is different from each state, on how they judge the criteria of whether or not you was doing some foul shit. So like in California, it's more stringent than Vegas. You understand? Because in Vegas, you have ratios 6-1. You can do that, I believe. Whereas in California, it might be lower. But if you just come off the street and just go through VADA without going through the WBC program, and they're going to go through WADA, it's going to be 1-to-1 ratio. Your testosterone level to whatever isotopes or something. Don't give me the line. But whatever that level is, it got to be 1-to-1. That's how y'all know them. If any man was to walk off the street right now and just go get tested, and you clean, you're not taking supplements and shit, your testosterone level to whatever else they testing it against is going to be like 1-to-1. So when they can tell when you cheating, when the shit is elevated. But see, in Vegas, they allow 6-to-1. Whereas in Cali, they might allow 3-to-1. You see what I'm saying? And when you go through the clean boxing program, all VADA is just administrators. They come get the test. Ain't no telling where your test is going. Ain't no telling what lab is going. So is that a more accurate way? Plus, they don't want to even do the pre-test like before the fights. They rather do post. And when they say stuff like, and I'm using Earl as an example, when they say he's been in the VADA program, they give you a range. When you doing it with a clean boxing program, it's a range. Remember, y'all, just in general, in order for there to be, if there's a number one, there has to be a number two. They teach you that in writing. You don't break nothing down and say number one and then just have a number one, then go on and write something else. You have to come back with a number two, or else don't do a number one. That's not proper writing. So in this, if you just think of it like that, it's applicable everywhere. You just can't have a rule here and then a different rule there. You know what I'm saying? Like, it has to be congruent. It has to be across the board. And with a clean boxing program, they don't have to. There's a lot of little loopholes where they don't have to test you before the fight. I'm telling you, the best time to catch them is before they start training camp. That's what I think. But, if you just dealing with VADA itself, like you like, I'm gonna just deal with Vada, okay? Then that could be 365 days a year. Now people have come up with reasonable ways. Well, they should make that for all fighters, period. But Mauricio has to look at his budget, and he says he tests the top 15 in his rankings. Well, he can break that down to, as one guy suggested, just the champions, and it will come out cheaper. He can pay that budget with his eyes closed. That way, they can get tested once a week all year. If you're just dealing with the champions of your WBC belt, or people who are going for that championship belt, your budget will be a lot better. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. Y'all keep watching them Caps and G. And the last thing I'm gonna put out is WBC is putting clamps down on Tyson Fury. We all know that Tyson has been emphatically saying he's done with boxing. He's getting out of it. I think the all the stuff that he dealt with Deontay Wilder is taking its toll on him. So he done with it, and he wants to do this exhibition fight, but he probably want to use the belt as a prop to help sell a fight. Tyson is doing a money grab. He's older. I told you guys that all that hard living will catch up with you. This nigga, he ain't got nothing left in the tank. He probably know, and it's probably the telltale signs. He will know better than us. Man, you keep running this shit back like this and taking these hits, you might not make it out that ring. And it has a lot to do with how he led his life, the drinking, the smoking, the coking, all that bullshit take a toll on you. So they want to order, and this is me guessing, what they probably want to order is the Wilder and Joyce fight. And it's for the money of it all. Outside of Tyson Fury, they'll bite their nose off to spite their face, because Tyson did what they needed him to do, which is bring down the king, which was Wilder. So he did the solid. And so they riding with him a little. They don't really like him though. He ain't making no money for them, but they gonna pretend and whatever, because they want that to be the narrative out there. We can't let black folks walk around and say they the king. Can't have that and that be unanswered. That's just how I see it. And I ain't talking about no nefarious or malicious shit. I'm just saying in general, the hate of it all. Fury showed, what did I put in here? He's something about his purpose. Now he looks to, he served his purpose. I didn't even recognize my own handwriting. Damn, I was like, what I write? His whole team is a mess. Sugar here is a disgrace. Nico Ali Walsh had it right. Good thing he had a good sense in his young age to recognize, get the hell away from Sugar here. Whoever he would now, they doing a good job, because I'd see more improvement. You need to stay the hell where he at. But Sugar Hill, Tyson Fury, that whole fugazi ass motherfucking seat, front row seat to some bullshit over there. I can't with them. I don't care if he retire. I don't buy his shit anyway, and I only bought it because of Wilder. But right now, the WBC looks like they got Wilder, Joyce, Parker, and Sanchez. That's how they ranking them. But out of the four, y'all know who bringing in the money. And Suleiman is always about the money. So if you want to know what Suleiman is up to and what he's doing, just follow the money. That's real easy, simple, easy peasy right there. So anyway, that's all I got for y'all today. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Let me rock out. I'm getting better at condensing some of this stuff. Like, I be trying, y'all. Let's see. I don't know what's going on over here. Well, they be taking me places. Come on, bro. I didn't ask for this. Ooh. Okay, I don't know what's going on now. This is crazy. What happened to my shiznicks? Okay. I don't even know how I got over there. But man, you made me look bad because you won't wait where I left you. Damn it. Thank y'all for joining in. Y'all know I gotta play this song. I love this damn song. I like this. It's like a instrumental. Mm, mm, mm. I don't know how you don't shake your ass on this one. Miss T over here cutting the jig. And yes, Sir Ambo, I'm having a good time. Oh, hello. I got a little party over here. No, I just don't know. All this shit do is make me reminisce back in my old go-go days. The Ibex, Club U, Classics, Gators in DC. Yes, sir. Hello. I hope y'all at work shaking y'all ass. Let them people look at y'all like y'all crazy. Thank y'all for joining in. Thank you for chiming in. Thank y'all for listening. Don't forget to hit that like button, share, and subscribe. Don't only leave a comment. Let me know how you feel when you watching me in replay. Remember, I'm going to have that contest coming up where I'm giving the 55-inch color TV. Top shelf shit. I don't bring no fugazi shit. If you're in the 48 states, I'll mail you the TV if you win. Straight up, I got the TV right now. But one thing I gotta have, if you don't subscribe, you cannot claim the prize. Sing, boy. And I'm gonna go out on this note. Don't he sound good, y'all? Anyway, remember, when y'all do better, or when you know better, you do better. Look, I'm already messing up my words. Now it's time for me to throw my own little party. Peace out, y'all.